Welcome to Private Money Secrets. I'm Keith Yackey, and I'm your host, and all we talk about here is private money, real estate, and some other fun stuff. Grab your favorite beverage. Let's dive in.
What's up, y'all? Another edition of Private Money Secrets here. I'm pumped. I'm pumped today because, well, there's a misnomer out there. And a lot of people looking to raise private money to do real estate investments and those types of things, they're doing it mostly to become rich. We want to make money. We want to have options. Maybe not wealthy, but at least comfortable enough to where you can buy what you want, when you want, hang out with who you want, go where you want, with whom you want, that type of thing. Now, rich is different for everybody. Maybe rich to you is $1 million in the bank. Maybe rich to you is $100 million in the bank. But what I've noticed from people who are going from nothing to making their first million or making a lot more money than they're used to making is oftentimes there's this hang-up where you think, you know, we've heard all of these misnomers and misconceptions and myths, like to be rich, the only way to be rich is if you're greedy, or the only way you're rich is if you really F someone over, or we've got Bible verses that people quote out that, the love of money is the root of all evil. And Jesus said, it's easier for the camel to move through the eye of a needle than a rich man to get into heaven. And we have these concepts, right? The rich man and Lazarus in the Bible. The rich man had his time on earth, but now he's suffering in hell. And Lazarus was poor and he made it to heaven. Hey, listen, with all of that societal pressure, with the religious leaning hook, how can you not help but at least maybe think that, there's got to be some downside to being rich, or maybe being rich is negative, and I think we have to help purge you of that mindset. We have to help get rid of those things that are probably subconsciously holding you back to some degree. Now, you might be thinking, okay, Keith, I don't think being rich is bad, that type of thing. Well, let me give you an analogy. I think that this analogy and story will be helpful and possibly serve you. A lot of people think that to be rich, you've got to be greedy or you got to hurt somebody else, that type of thing. Or if you sell somebody something that might be a little bit of a stretch for them to buy, that you're being greedy. It's perspective. You got to change it. Let me talk about the positive piece of it and the negative piece of it. The negative piece of it, if I'm being really honest, who gets more mad over lending somebody $20 and not getting it back? Usually the person that needs that $20 back as opposed to the person that doesn't. So the person with abundance, and what I've experienced and what I've found in making a lot of money and being around those who make a lot of money, for the most part, I would say 90 to 95% of it is, listen, their abundance mentality. They believe in not only just getting more for themselves, but getting more for others. They believe that there's so much out there that to make a lot doesn't mean you take any from anywhere else. And so what I've experienced and what I think you really need to understand is, if we're going to talk about greed and those types of things, man, back when I was broke and I let somebody borrow $20, $25, $50, I would be hounding their ass. Hey man, I need that $50 back. Hey man, I need that $50 back. As opposed to somebody who has an abundance, it doesn't really matter. Hey man, I'm going to let you borrow something without even expecting to get it back. Why? Because I've got so much. And why? Because there is so much. It's one of the reasons why I'm ever walking around and I see money on the ground. So understanding that, listen, the guy that's got the least amount is the one that's more greedy about getting it back than the one who has the more amount. That's A. That's the kind of the negative side I think about it. But the other side, the positive side, the understanding that being rich isn't bad. The Bible actually doesn't teach that being rich is bad at all, man. It says the love of money is the root of all evil. If all you're doing anything for is money, meaning you'd be willing to rip people off, you'd be willing to do bad business, that's just being an asshole. That's just being a greedy fuck. but you don't have to be that. You can offer a tremendous value to somebody that would help them change their life in any way, shape, or form, and they gladly pay you for it, and you get the benefit of them being benefited. So the bottom line is this. If you want to become rich, if you want to make a lot of money, you got to quit thinking that it's a bad, evil thing. I believe money just magnifies and mirrors who you already are. I'm a really fun-loving guy who's jovial, who loves to party and do all that. So you know what making a lot of money did for me? It allowed me to go have more fun, do more crazy experiences, or give me the freedom of time to be able to enjoy just, putting some country music on in the kitchen and twirling my wife around, and just dancing our little brains out. So, it's not negative. It's not bad. The Bible doesn't teach about being rich is bad. The Bible teaches that basically don't be a greedy fuck and don't go around screwing people around. But there's also lots of passages in the Bible that talk about having abundance so that you can give to others, having abundance so that you can enjoy and expand and grow in this beautiful thing we call life. So I don't know what your mindset around money is, but if you haven't had a lot of it growing up and still haven't had a lot of it now, I would dare say and probably bet on the fact that your thoughts and beliefs around money are not that great. Our society, makes Ebenezer Scrooge or the old crass, mean, cranky guy on The Simpsons, right? Like, it paints a bad picture of these old, evil men. And yet, that's just 5 or 6 Hollywood depictions mixed with a couple of misconstrued, out of context Bible verses. Next thing you know, people are getting mad at rich people. When in all reality, it's rich people and entrepreneurs that have built everything that has made your life nicer, more easy, more fun. Go thank your local rich person for doing that. So, I hope this helps you really break through that scarcity, poor mindset and helps you break through to realize, man, you making more is not going to take away from anybody else. Oh, and by the way, if you're selling somebody to stretch into something for them to change their life, what you're doing is pushing them to do something that they won't do on their own. And in reality, if they don't take action, if they don't move forward, if they don't invest in themselves, they're going to be stuck where they're at in their misery, and they're going to be stuck there for the rest of their life. How much is that going to cost them? In just being unempowered and not being free to be and do what they want to be and do in their heart. So, being rich, it's great. You're going to have way more fun. You're going to do a lot more things if that's what you want to do in your heart. Don't let anybody tell you that that's a bad thing. Don't let anybody tell you, being rich, you're going to hell. Nah, just politely tell them, fuck you. I'm going to be okay. Take care.
All right, so if you're wanting to learn how to raise more private money, go to www.privatemoneypro.com, www.privatemoneypro.com, where I can show you how to be a private money pro. Take care and go rock it.